to the table? How integral are you to the mission and to the cause of yourself? How are you empathetic to the plight of people? How do you consider the struggles that are going on? How do you dedicate yourself to the mission of the upliftment of your people, regardless to what? And this, for me, is the drive and the passion for where we have to think about who we are as a people, what responsibilities we have to ourselves, to our family, to our community, and to our nation. That's the question that we need to ask ourselves. And I believe that if we work through this evening, we will get to understand something more about ourselves as people, and we will be able to look at what it is that we can do to transform and change our reality and change the reality of our family and our community. So my brother asked the question, and he made a statement to you, and he said, well, he spoke to his brothers and his sister them to come out tonight, and when he told them that the man's name is Mr. Pink, they said, why is he named Mr. Pink? Why hasn't he got an African name? And why is he named Mr. Pink? Well, this evening we will share with you why my name is Mr. Pink, and you will get a better understanding of that in that sense, and then hopefully it will help us to be able to get a better understanding of who we are. So, my first question is, everybody in here, do we believe in God in some shape or form? Yes. Do we? Do we believe in God in some shape or form? I do. Okay. So many of you in here will be kind of scriptural people, coming from a scriptural kind of background. I know I came from a scriptural background in church and those kind of things. So I'm asking the question in that kind of way. So in the terms of my name, Mr. Pink. Mr. Pink is a very funny name. You can see I've got a pink shirt on to go with my name as well. You know, I have to make it work in succinct. And so, my name, Mr. Pink. Well, let's start with the first name, Daniel. And those of us who are scripturally averse, in the Bible, in the book of the Bible, Daniel, there was a fellow in there named Daniel, and he had some brothers, and they were taken away by a man called Nebuchadnezzar, who enslaved them and did all kind of things. I'm only using this as a joke part of you. So Daniel was taken and captured by Nebuchadnezzar, and they captured these three brothers, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, who was with him, and they changed their name. They changed their name. And when they changed their name, they changed it, and they changed their diet, and they changed their food. Only Daniel stood and didn't eat what the king's meat was, and stayed on the path of believing in his own creator. And so that aspect of it is Daniel and his brothers had his name changed. They were taken from where they were. How does that relate to you then, Daniel? Well, how it relates to me is that some 400 or 500 years ago, some people came to Africa and took us out of Africa. And when they took us out of Africa, they brought us on a westwardly course. And when they brought us to the Americas and the Caribbean islands, they changed our names. And when they changed our name, you took the name of the people who owned you during the transatlantic slave trade. And so my name is Daniel Pink. And I am your brother, who is now saying to you, we're family. Regardless whether your name is Oji, whatever you want to call yourself, and my name is Daniel Pink, I'm your brother. I am your brother. And there's another part in the scripture, because I asked you the question about God, and you say you believe in him. The scripture says, how can you say you love God, whom you have never seen, yet hate your brother, who you see every day? So if you see your brother every day, who do you think you're looking at? So this is the reason why I don't have to be named so and so and so and so and so and so to tell you about what happened to us through the transatlantic slave trade. What I'm asking you this evening is to just be open. Just let us journey and take this ride. Buckle up and put your seatbelt on. We're going to have a nice little time. And hopefully at the end we'll be able to have a little conversation. I know we're on time limit, so I want to get right into what it is that we need to do. But I hope that gave you some understanding of where I'm coming from by using the name Daniel Pink. And that name, we all have to talk about what's happened, because one of the things is for sure, don't think because I've got the name Daniel Pink, I'm enslaved and I don't know nothing. You think Africa is not enslaved? They may have changed my name and took me away from Africa and enslaved me, but they've enslaved the Africans right in Africa. Because who runs Africa today? Is it the black man who runs Africa today, or do other people run the continent of Africa? So being African just for the sake of African is not enough today, because there needs to be a knowledge that we have to acquire of self to bring us into what we need to be. Because sometimes we have forgotten about our ancestors and our forefathers of the past and their great achievements and their great accomplishments. And when we forget about their great achievements and their great accomplishments, then we buy into someone else's achievements and accomplishments, and then they dictate and control the way our lives are governed and how we live. And that's why the one thing you and I have in common in here, so you can't say that I'm lying, all of us in here, I will take it, speak English. So if we speak English, what happened? How did we end up speaking English? And so when we understand colonization, we can't lift up one over the other and say one is better than the other or one is less than the other in any shape or form. So this evening, does Africa really matter? Who do you think you are? Can I have the lights, please, brother? When looking at Africa, here we are looking at the continent of Africa, and we see that Africa is the home for all of us and for mankind in his beginning. So what I wanted to show you and talk to you about today is I wanted us to look at the map of Africa. And looking at the map of Africa, we're also going to look at the size of Africa. Now, we have some maps, and one of the maps that is more kind of accurate is Peter's map, more so to the point than any other map, because it really shows more of the true size of Africa. Now, this is showing you the countries that can fit into Africa. The United States can fit into the continent of Africa. China can fit in there too. Europe, Eastern Europe, France, Spain, Italy, all of those can fit into the continent of Africa. And when you recognize that all these countries can fit into the continent of Africa, it really kind of then makes you have to think about how big is this place? How big is this place? And what is so special about this place that we can look at and then ask ourselves the question, what's going on? So, is that clear for you? Can you see that?
Yes.
You sure? So, I want to move on in showing you something else about what's going on in Africa that we need to think about. And if you look, as I said, here's Africa. Netherlands, Belgium, Portugal, Switzerland, they're all in there. And so it should tell us something about who we are and the size of the planet in which we live. So I want to go on and look at this map. What is Africa? Why is everyone so interested in Africa? What is it that Africa is giving everybody that they can take out? And whilst they're taking out these resources out of Africa, how comes Africa in itself isn't benefiting from these resources? Because if Africa was benefiting from these resources that feed the Western world, then we would be the ones sitting in the position as how the Western world is sitting today. And we would be the ones who would have the gold, the diamond. And look, there's not a part in Africa, on that continent, that things are not coming out of there. Oil, food, drink, metals and materials, wood, you name it, petroleum, gold, diamonds,
coffee,
iron ore, coffee, tea. I mean, beloved, seriously, family. If everybody else is benefiting from the continent of Africa and taking all of this out of Africa, what is left for us?